They're all eating dirt, and they're eating dirt, and that fat pig wife is living in Paris.
They're all brainwashed, though. That's what it is. And they're stupid to begin with, but they're brainwashed.
Yeah.
Stinking animals. You ought to drop the bomb right there. Kill them all right now.
Just imagine standing there.
Oh, well, the problem is we have Andrea there. We don't want anything to happen to her.
Oh, wait, she's got to get out. Just warn Andrea. Get out, and then drop the bomb. Kill everybody.
It's like the worst Woodstock.
Look at this. Look at these animals. Animals.
I'm here with Audrey Macklin, who's a fancy pants, big-time law professor at U of T. Nice to meet you, Audrey.
Nice to meet you.
Alrighty, so, Professor, how is hate speech dealt with over the airwaves?
Hate speech over the airwaves, like hate speech delivered in any other context, could be subject to criminal prosecution. But in addition to that, the CRTC has the authority as a licensing body to regulate broadcasters and their activity.
CRTC, bonjour.
I'm doing a documentary about hate speech being broadcast on Canadian airwaves.
No, I was wondering if you'd spoken to the Canadian Broadcast Standards Council, because you definitely want to go there first.
Hello.
We just kind of wanted to talk to you about what the Canadian Broadcast Standards Council was responsible for.
You presumably want to relate that to something?
Yeah, well, we are relating it to the case of the Don Imus morning show. According to federal law, satellite providers and cable companies are responsible for the signals they broadcast. MSNBC's signal was broadcast by Rogers, so if you follow that path, Rogers is responsible for the comments made on the Don Imus show. Now, I've been trying to contact a representative from Rogers, Alain Strati. He's not answering the phone, so, being the journalist that I am, I'm going to his office. Alain Strati. Would he be in drama or horror?
You ought to drop the bomb right there. Kill them all right now.
Look, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm a customer service representative here. I've got, like, no power here, but I would call head office of Rogers.
Hi. I'd like to speak to Mr. Alain Strati, please. Sabrina Jalees.
Alain have forwarded this to me, your questions, but I don't think we want to go on camera to talk about this. This is all stuff you need to ask the CRTC.
Alrighty. Hey, getting government agencies and broadcast industries to talk to us has been a little titch difficult. But, surprisingly, when I phoned the cops, they were more than willing to speak to me. I'm here with the very tall, very handsome, very wise Mr. James Hogan, who is a detective.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. This is the incident that you actually received complaints about. It's the Don Imus show on November 12th.
And then drop the bomb. Kill everybody.
There are American media people on an American station in the United States making those comments. So I think that we would lack jurisdiction to do anything in this case. My feeling is that the first complaint should be to the network that's broadcasting it, and then perhaps to the CRTC.
All right, now I'm getting a stiff neck, so I think we should wrap things up. Thank you very much, Detective Hogan. I found out that Canadian Heritage Minister Lisa Frula is in charge for communicating with the CRTC.
I don't think the minister will be available, but what I can do is suggest somebody from the department that could tell the government position on this.
I'll have to check with him. I'll have to check with his schedule. I'll get back to you.
On all those questions, she cannot answer anything, because, you have to deal with the CRTC.
All right, so the CRTC and the CBC said they don't want to meet with me. But, it's so hard to tell if they're joking or not on the phone. So I figured I should drive to Ottawa and just see if they'll answer some of my questions.
This is Canadian Heritage. You'd be better served going to the Minister of Justice.
You have to deal with Justice. Minister of Justice, Rowan Couplet.
Patrick, Department of Justice.
The CRTC should answer the question that's related to them.
No one's talking to me around here. I feel like an alienated Albertan. Hey, can you take me to the CRTC?
No.
Still no luck with the CRTC, and unfortunately Ron Cohen, the chairman of the CBSC, never called me back, so I had to look up his address. P.O. Box 3265, Station D, Ottawa. Wow, this is 3265. You know what that means? He has a tiny office. Hello, Mr. Chairman. We're out here in front of your office. I know you said you didn't want to talk before, but I just want to ask you some questions. You know, how did the CBSC deal with hate speech? What did you do with the Don Imus case?
Well, I'm going to check with some other people and see what their reaction has been.
To my surprise, I discovered in August 2004 a group calling itself the Canadian Cable Telecommunications Association, the CCTA, applied to bring the 24-hour Arabic news channel Al-Jazeera to Canada, and the CRTC handed them an unprecedented decision because of their belief of potential hate speech. Hey, we're speaking to Michael Hennessy from the CCTA. Michael, what happened during your CRTC application?
The CRTC ultimately approved the service, but on the proviso that cable companies and satellite companies across the country would monitor for abusive comment. To start doing that with third language services, particularly news services that are coming at you on a 24/7 basis, is probably totally impractical.
So they basically made it very, very hard to bring Al Jazeera to Canada.
They made it impossible. And think about it, Al Jazeera is available throughout the world, including in Israel and the United States, without any censorship.
This is the heritage critic for the NDP, Mr. Charlie Angus. Charlie.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm going good. How are you doing?
I'm very good.
I'm a little frazzled. No one's been talking to us, but I'm glad that you can answer this question. Why is it so difficult to communicate with the CRTC?
When you see what the CRTC does, it's something like a dysfunctional nanny state.
Well, this is something that was aired on November 12th of 2004, and it still hasn't been taken care of.
Warn Andrew, get out, and then drop the bomb. Kill everybody.
It's like the worst Woodstock.
So is this a big deal or not?
This is a very big deal because last summer the government came down, CRTC came down with a very controversial decision on Al Jazeera, the only country in the Western world that said, oh, we can't allow any Canadians to watch this. And so why is the government willing to stand up to a small Arabic network and yet afraid to stand up to the hillbilly halitosis that's coming over from south of the border?
Hillbilly halitosis. Okay, all right, Charlie, I'd like to thank you for your time. You've been very helpful.
Well, thank you very much, and get an answer from the CRTC.
Hey man, I'm trying. I'm running around this. I'm going. So you might have figured it out. The CRTC didn't want to talk to me. So I'm left to imagine what an interview with the CRTC might be like.
Good afternoon.
So, Mr. CRTC, there were complaints about the Imus show on MSNBC, and that was 9 months ago. What has the CRTC done since then?
I choose not to comment. Can't comment on that. Je n'ai aucun commentaire. What is your agenda anyway?
Agenda? You're in my head! After a month of being shunned by their media department, Martine Vallée of the CRTC finally decided she would speak to my producer on the phone.
I would hope that we would actually issue a decision, before the end of the summer. And I can't give any other comments.
In the past 3 years, Fox News and MSNBC have carried and continue to carry hateful broadcasting. Will you then place the same restrictions that you placed on Al Jazeera?
I can't prejudge and say we'd put the same conditions on them. It would be within our authority to do so.
Thank you for being so difficult.
It was my pleasure. Now please don't come back.
Quite frankly, I think the best remedy that people have is to act as intelligent consumers and withdraw their attention. If advertisers don't want to be associated with an offensive program, if people won't watch it, they're not going to make any money off it, and they'll kill the show. Sadly, there seems to be a huge audience for this kind of garbage. And so that's the challenge for intelligent and concerned media viewers.
Are you an intelligent and informed media viewer?